Okay, are Democrats now making the same mistakes they did in 2016? Could it lead to the president's reelection? They're destroying each other out there. Let's bring in my next guest, Heritage Foundation senior writer, Kelsey Bolar. Great to see you, Kelsey. Okay, this op-ed from a Bernie Sanders campaign surrogate ripped into Biden as corrupt and weak. An NBC News reporter pointing out the Sanders campaign did circulate that op-ed attacking Biden, and they're not disavowing it.
Yeah, I actually don't think it was the wise decision for Sanders to apologize for this op-ed that he didn't write. But he really would benefit from playing the outsider card, sort of as Trump did in the 2016 election. Sanders is the outsider candidate here. I think some of his supporters have some things in common with President Trump. They want to drain the swamp, and Joe Biden is part of the swamp. That's what this op-ed was about. So I don't think apologizing was the right move here.
But they're polar opposites economically on their policies. Let's get to Hillary Clinton blasting Bernie Sanders, saying, yes, Bernie was in Congress for years. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He's got nothing done. He's a career politician. It's all just baloney. I feel so bad people get sucked into the Bernie machine. His Bernie brothers, relentless attacks on women. You know, Neera Tanden, who used to be in the Obama administration, made this point. Bernie and Elizabeth Warren never got 60 votes for anything in the Senate, so why should voters go for their agenda? Your reaction?
There's some truth to that Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were not able to get any sort of consensus for their far left socialist agenda in the Senate. So why should they be able to get the Democrat nominee? But that said, we do know support for socialism is increasing. This interview with Hillary Clinton is interesting. There's a lot there that's going to be continued to be discussed in this news cycle. She is not going away. She's clearly trying to tilt the scale against Bernie Sanders. And I think many Democrats would just like to see her take a step back and let this election play out for itself.
Bernie's actually said today, asked Hillary why she keeps talking about 2016. Okay, more on what we have been reporting. Author Peter Schweitzer now revealing details out of his new upcoming book, the cronyism in Bernie's political fundraising machine. Schweitzer claims that Bernie Sanders funneled $83 million in taxpayer donations to friends to do his media buys. This is a story we have been reporting on. We reported on it, for example, last year. Watch this. Let's get to Bernie Sanders. He is very public about his socialism, but very secretive about his finances. He's ultra secretive. That's what the critics have said. He's routinely late with his financial disclosure forms with the Senate. His secretive tax returns, he refuses to disclose them. Plus, he's been accused of using a black box operation for his campaign advertising on television and radio. Okay, let's break this down. Here's what's going on. Bernie Sanders in the past has used an LLC. It's in a suburb of Virginia. It's called Old Town Media. It's bought $82 million in media ad time for his 2016 campaign. No website, no phone for it, just a single family home. It's been called a front company. These are black box shell companies. What's your reaction to this angle?
Again, this is why President Trump's drain the swamp message resonates with so many voters. These are the types of stories that nobody on either side of the political spectrum likes to hear. And the fact that it's coming from a self-proclaimed socialist makes it all the worse because, you know, they want to take everybody's money and redistribute it. And yet it looks like they're lining their own pockets. They're lining the pockets of their own friends and families. It's a very bad and hypocritical look for Democrats and proclaimed socialists.
And quickly, Bernie Sanders now saying super PACs should be shut out of the election process, but he is not talking about regular PACs like his own PAC, Our Revolution, to shut down. Schweitzer is also talking about Biden Incorporated. Joe Biden is, quote, the king of sweetheart deals, saying he helped 5 family members cash in off of the vice president's position. Your final word on that?
Look, this is cronyism. This is what voters reject. This is why President Trump is his message is resonating. Drain the swamp, and he has a real opportunity here to double down on that and move on from this type of corruption that we're unfortunately seeing more and more of.
Kelsey, great to see you. Come back soon.
Thank you.